So I'll be, filming in the car, just for a bit and then set off back home. Yeah, that was a rough session. I'll probably put this bit before. If I have, then cool. But I just want to highlight, how important your mental state is, because honestly, I've had some bad sessions, and that's very on par in particular, because honestly, when I'm injured and everything, and I feel trapped almost, especially now because I've gone on a very, very steep decline into a bit of a mental dip, I'd say, because for those who don't know, I lost my job, my relationship, and I got injured within 2 months, and all within a 2-month span. And now I'm sort of injured now. I don't really know, but I'll have to see. But it might be to do with just a thing I may have, because my dad has something in similar. I don't know, but we'll have to see. But yeah, it's been quite rough, if I'm being honest, because the gym is where I let everything out, and even MMA is where I let everything out. And the feeling of, because when it all happens so sudden, you kind of think, why me, and everything. And I rang my mum and everything, talked to her about things, because she's basically the only person I can really talk to about my, stuff. But I mean, some people may think it's just a bunch of rubbish. I mean, yeah, people are going through a lot more than me right now, and that's understandable. But I do have my own issues, and I can self-admittedly say I'm not, the perfect person. I have my own issues, and I've had my own issues in the past, which kind of do contribute to my own mental well-being currently. So, I mean, when I go to the gym, and it's ever since injuring myself and stuff, that I can't really get stuff out, and it's that intensity and everything, that it's not self-harm, because I used to self-harm. I'll self-admittedly say that I used to hit myself in the face, on my legs, on my chest, to the point sometimes there was bruising. And that was purely because I was angry at myself, and I was angry at myself today. And I could have been irrational and just full on, done something stupid, go too far on certain exercises or stuff like that. I could have done so much that could have led to even worse stuff happening. But I kept it consistent. I went to failure, of course, but I did that in more of a healthy way, of a constructive way, where I want to, grow my muscle. I don't particularly want to harm myself, but I know pain is all part of, bodybuilding and powerlifting. I mean, you can't really do much without the pain of, stuff. But I'm more of those kind of people. I don't want to give up. A lot of things I can't live without, which it might be just who I am, because when I couldn't do taekwondo, and when I was in lockdown, so I was 14 back then, I found it very, very hard to do stuff. Like, I just couldn't wait to get back into, you know, doing something physical, which I think's mainly my output of my own, like, anger and everything like that. I mean, to take you back, I've always been bullied. Like, I was bullied since I can remember, because I don't know, just I was like a bit different. I wasn't like friends with everybody, and you know, I only had like a select amount of friends, which still to this day I'm friends with, which I really do appreciate. And yeah, when I let everything out, it just lets out every single bit of my life, you know, stuff that I don't really want to go over on this channel because it's more controversial or anything. Like, I'll say this, they may seem, you know, not that much because people have told me it's not that much, but you know, I do go through things. I am a person, and yeah, I've had stuff with my mum, I've had stuff with my dad, you know, happen, and it's just like I can let all that out, and I can let out my feelings of, you know, self-unimportance. I don't know how to put it, but in terms of that, like, I've very, very bad, like, self-talk, which if you've ever seen Lex Little in his recent video, the Truth, I believe, he just says that's like the devil and everything, and you have an angel and a devil, which I kind of relate to, because yeah, the devil talks, or whatever, you know, whatever the fuck talks. It's because it's not me that says I'm a bitch, you know, I'm a fucking pussy, because I've proven to myself I'm not much of a pussy if I'm not leaving the gym, because that same voice told me to leave the gym because I can't do the exercises I want. I mean, what's the point in leaving, you know, giving up halfway? I can do so much more, because if you think about it, just quitting, you won't get anywhere. But by like trying and all this, you might get somewhere, you know. I mean, I try this, I get judged all the time, you know. People look at me weird, people laugh at the thing I do, you know, this type of shit. And yeah, I am a bit different. Yeah, I'm wanting to get somewhere in my life, because I suppose it's also that feeling of self-importance. I want to feel important. I want to feel like I've contributed to something. I feel like, you know, I've succeeded. But that voice always says, no matter how hard you try, you will always be shit. That's the voice that literally tells me every day that I'm shit, I'm worth nothing, I'm not loved, and all this. And I suppose some people can relate, and yeah, it genuinely hurts me every time, you know, because sometimes in that delusional state you feel like that is the truth. And yeah, I can self-admittedly say sometimes it does feel like the truth. Like, I'm worthless, I'm this, I'm that, you know, I'm not worth anything, that kind of shit, because sometimes my mind can't come up with something to prove, you know. And when I'm good at something, like, you know, lifting or MMA, it makes me feel good, you know. It makes me feel good knowing I'm at least good at something. And yeah, but I suppose that's what happens in life. You can't be the jack of all trades. You have to be humble in knowing that you're not the best at everything, but you can always try your best. And that's what I did today. And I want that to be a message. If it reaches anybody, it reaches anybody, you know. Try your best. Even if it's a shit circumstance, try your best, because you're going to die one day. You are going to die one day. whether if it's tomorrow or in 10 years or in 50 years, you are going to die in one day. And I'd rather die knowing I tried my best today and you know, when it's tomorrow, today, you know, that kind of thing. Knowing I tried my best, you know, to give myself the best circumstances I can, really. I mean, I'm more of a self-improvement person. Like, I'm on the journey myself. I'm not a guru, I'm not anyone, I'm not a role model. I will say that out openly. I'm not a role model for anyone to go by. I'd rather you learn from the shit that I go through or stuff that I deal with and apply that to yourself, because it has took me a long time to get to the sort of maturity I have. Because I remember when I was 16, I just wanted to, you know, end my life because it was so shit in my eyes, which I couldn't see a way forward. But the way forward is to change. Hence my YouTube channel's the cringe name, Willpower to Change. Oh yeah. So, and it took a lot of willpower to change from being a skinny kid that didn't really, you know, do anything other than like taekwondo and kickboxing and stuff like that, to going to the gym, doing this shit and trying to put myself out there, you know, because I know a 16-year-old me would have never done this. He would be too scared. And I suppose with fear comes courage, because everyone's scared. Mike Tyson was scared when he got into the ring. Any fighter you can dream of, any powerlifter, strongman, they're all scared of what they have to face. And fear is what crafts you, and I believe that to the full-heartedness of that. And I will live and die by that, pretty much. And yeah, it's been a bit of a hard, you know, couple months for me, because yeah, stuff doesn't go your way, and you feel like lots of stuff, I'll just say that, doesn't go your way, and you just feel like life's against you. Which, just say it, you have to be like delusional with it. Like, I'm not religious myself, but I believe it's like a challenge by God, supposedly. So all the difficulties, all the challenges, all the mistakes are just lessons that I need to learn. And yeah, and unfortunately they're very, very painful and hard lessons. So just take it from me, you know, it's not all over. You still got, you know, time. Like, even if you're like 64, let's say, you have time to improve yourself. It doesn't matter how late you start, how soon you start, or how, you know, early you start. You can still improve yourself, no matter how deep into a rabbit hole you may be. And I believe that, you know, because I've been in that rabbit hole of, oh, like, shit, I don't want to do much, you know, because I believe if you know, if I didn't do fitness or if I didn't do MMA and stuff, I'd become a degenerate like a lot of people. And yeah, that, or just like, I'll probably be dead, to be honest, because I wouldn't know how to handle my stuff. But I'm so glad I at least have the gym and everything, and I can still, you know, move my body, because not many people can. Well, some people can't, but that is something I'm very grateful for, and I will say that, because it's not all doom and gloom. Like, yeah, I have my moments of not really ungratefulness, but like, you know, challenging stuff. But I can definitely say, you know, with full-heartedly, I do appreciate a lot of stuff. It's just the moments that I need to remember. I need to be grateful for the things I at least have. But yeah, just take it from me, you know, whatever, and everything. But hopefully you yourself can learn from whatever, you know, from whatever I've said or anything like that. And if you like this sort of content, please like and everything. And I'll put this first anyway, and everything. Then I'll go into my workout. But yeah, no squats, just like going on to RDLs because squats sucked. So thanks for watching. Please enjoy the rest of my content. I just go over what I've done for the day and, you know, my theory behind it and everything. But anyway, stay, you know, hard or whatever you want to say. But yeah, now my shit's just like, what the fuck. Don't know what my car's doing, but anyway, I'll fix this. So yeah, car has broken down. Yeah, great day, honestly. But oh well, nothing I can do about it. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy the video that will come out probably tomorrow because yeah, the cover people are coming, but it's almost like 9, so yeah, fun, fun. You gotta laugh at it, you know, because it's, yeah, nothing I can do, but yeah. I hadn't had a great day, but I can at least laugh at it. That's the funny thing. I can just laugh at it because of how ridiculous it is, but great day, great day anyway. But yeah, on to workout, which is lovely. So after well, this was before my car decided to kill itself, but yeah, I didn't do squats today, primarily because my hip decided to have an off day, and you know, I said, nah, I ain't doing that, man. So yeah, basically I just have to deal with that. But I did do Bulgarians straight after this, and I didn't feel much pain, so it's kind of a weird thing. It might be just because I may flare my legs out a bit too much, and I'll just have to see if that's anything to do with it. But I'll definitely run it back on what to look for, you know. But in the meantime, we just need to focus on everything else, because I could have gone home, but I did my RDLs, I did my Bulgarians. Because most people would go home, but I didn't, because I thought, I'm not going to be a bitch. I'm not going to listen to that voice that says I'm a bitch, so I'm not going to be a bitch. So I did my RDLs. They were pretty good. Fell in my hamstrings. Now I'm on Bulgarians with 25 plate. Just makes it easy to go deeper. I mean, you can see me on the... It's my left leg, so you'll be able to see here on my left leg. It wasn't actually that, you know, crazy. You know, I didn't feel much pain at all. Yeah, I felt a slight bit towards the end. That's all. And when I mean a slight bit, it's like in like pain terms. So like 10 being the worst, 1 being fairly mild. I'd say it was like a 2. But when I was squatting, it was like a 5, 6. So I was creeping up, and I was like, I can't do that, you know. So I'd rather keep my health in check and everything. So, but Bulgarians did go well. I only had a bit of a moment where my balance was off, and that's why I do Bulgarians, because helps with balance. They're quite hard to do, so keep you disciplined and everything. But when it comes to, you know, Bulgarians, I'd say they're incredibly good for squat as well. Primarily because even with Bulgarians being, you know, a one leg movement, supposedly, it actually uses both, because you need the back leg to push up as well. And with that, you're stretching your hip flexor and everything, which is why I've done this today. So like, I usually do Bulgarians for a stretch, but also to work on my, you know, power in my each leg, you know. But definitely was stretching out my hip flexor with that, because yeah, I like having healthy hip flexors. If you And if you don't, then there's something wrong with you. But yeah, it was definitely an amazing day. Shit, kind of a shit leg day, but also my car broke down, and I got back at like 10. So yeah, that was fun. Totally not, but we will live anyway. But overall, Bulgarians went fairly well, and then I move on to, a single leg press. It wasn't much weight, as you'll probably see. Fuck. But anyway, that's my coughing and being disgusting cunt. But yeah, after this, I just do single leg press. Not only because I believe I can get more of a stretch, especially when it comes to whatever the teardrop muscle on your quad is. But also, it's a lot easier to put the weights on because you don't really do much. I mean, there's only 70 kilos on this sled, and yeah. I didn't have to carry all the fucking weights. Meanwhile, I just having already a bad day, so I was like, oh, I'll just do single leg press. There's no point on loading loads of plates on for no benefit. I'd rather do single leg press and get the benefits of that. So yeah, I did single leg press. It's fairly good. I just went till failure really on both. Well, on three sets. But yeah, last time I did it with pre-fatigue, so I did leg extensions before, which I tend to vary it up. If someone's on the leg extension, then I'll go straight to leg press. But if someone's on the leg press, I'll go straight to leg extension. It just adds that little, bit of versatility. So you're not bored as shit, and you especially won't be bored as shit with the pre-fatigue because it hurts a lot. So, yeah, just pushing my legs to failure really. Because would I say my legs are a bad body part of me? I wouldn't say so. Just primarily because compare it to my upper body, it's kind of even really. But yet again, we all have that, voice saying it needs to be more. So yeah, I'm trying to build my quads as well as my upper body to, suit it. I mean, I'll always have that, voice saying it's not good enough and stuff, but it's good to counteract it and say, oh, I've made progress here. Because if you were to look back at my old photos of me, I had zero legs. Literally, they were twigs. Just fatty twigs, really. And yeah, I literally stored all my fat in my legs when I was skinnier. So just saw skinny fat legs, and it was it didn't look good. And yeah, and now I finally have some development in my legs, which I'm very, very proud of. So yeah, it was all worth it in the end. All that pain and everything, all worth it. But yeah, still continuing because I just thought to myself, I need to get through this because yeah, there's no point in giving up now because I need to get through this workout. I'd rather get through the workout than regret it later. So I encourage you all to do your workout even though you don't feel like it. But yeah, now onto some leg extensions. Doing more of a drop set here. So I did 3 sets here, and what I'd do is leg extensions, single leg extensions, 1 set on my max weight, and then just rest a bit, probably 30 seconds, then go into a lesser weight, only by 5 kilos. And yeah, I tend to find by doing that method, it ups the intensity and I feel it a lot more in my quads. But that's just me, and I've seen quite a bit of a difference by doing that. But yet again, my body's different to yours. If you want to copy it, you can. I'm not really fussed, but it definitely felt pretty good, and I do believe intensity over volume is more important because if I were to do so many leg extensions, it wouldn't really benefit me if I was doing like say 5 than if I were to do like 3 at max intensity and go as far as I can than if I were to do 5 with, slight minimal intensity. Because I'm not much of a, volume kind of person. I'm more of a intensity, like pure intensity person. So like properly go for it, which is mostly my mentality with anything. I like proper go for it, and I try my hardest. Because I like putting my body through shit, but I just I do this technique just purely because it's more to my style, and I've seen more development through it. Because yes, some people may say you need a bit more volume and all this, but am I on steroids? No, I need to think smarter when it comes to doing these exercises, because if I'm going to failure so much, I might overdo myself, which I know one of my friends overdoes himself, and yeah, bro struggles. So I'd rather, keep the intensity to the point where it's like, yeah, it's fucking hard, but I'd rather, you know, think of it as, more of a natural way of doing it. Because if I was on steroids, sure, I'd fucking go set to set maximum, like high intensity, high volume type shit. But I'm not on steroids, unfortunately. But now we're on some leg curls. Yet again, similar mentality. This only takes me 10 minutes really, because I don't see taking time on these sort of machines as worth it really. I just prefer the pure intensity, like just going from set to set to set, and I find that works for me. And the movements like leg press and RDLs, they'll do a lot of, I'll rest in between those, like properly rest like a minute or two, and then I'll go straight into it again. But with these, it's more like I feel like you need to more high intensity and more like, that kind of feel of just like going set after set after set after set. But that's just my theory. I've been trying out for a while and I've seen results from it, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen results, and yeah, I'm gonna continue doing it until it doesn't do me any good. Which I'm not much of a science person. I'm not much of a bro science person. Well, kinda bro science, but I just prefer this technique where I just go technically just like rest, drop, set, and just keep going until I can't do anymore. Which, in my eyes, yeah, it works for me. It might not work for other people because, different muscle fibers, different, body and everything. But it works for me, and I'll stick by what I say. And yeah, that was my leg day of hell, because no squats, and I felt very depressed because my car broke down, as well as having a shit squat session. But we can't let that get us down. We've got to, move on. We got to, can't let it drag us down, because, we need to move forward. We need to, do things. But yeah, and now you'll be able to see me posing in a minute. But thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Just take the lesson from me. Don't let these situations that may be a bit too, sudden or anything like that gets in your way and everything, get you down, because we all can bounce back. We can all do anything we really want, and I truly believe that. And you shall keep moving, even though that voice in your mind says give up. Don't give up. You got this.